Hello everyone, welcome to the E2 tutorial channel. In today's video, we're diving into how to work with date and time in SQLite. From storing and formatting dates to performing date calculations and filtering by time ranges. I would like to take a few seconds to briefly describe what is a date and time. Although I assume that everybody watching this video would have at least seen a date, or you know what a date is, and you've also seen a time and you know what a time is. But if you don't, a date refers to a specific point in time, typically represented in a numerical format that indicates the day, month, and year. For example, you could have a date as March 3rd, 2025. So March is the month, 3rd is the day, and then 2025 is the year. Time denotes a specific moment within a day, usually expressed in hours, minutes, and seconds. And obviously, we have two time formats, the 24-hour and the 12-hour. So when we say the 24-hour, you would hear things like 1800. Or if we say the 12 hours, you would hear things like 6 p.m., 3 p.m., or 4 p.m., or even 8 a.m. Those are basically the two formats for time. The main goal of this session is to teach you how to analyze date and time data types with SQLite. Some of the things you would need for this tutorial session: your computer, a desktop or a laptop, anyone you have, that's fine. Your DBeaver software installed. If you don't have that installed, especially if this is your first time watching this video, I would have a link in the YouTube description that takes you to a video where you can watch how to install the DBeaver software. We'll be using the Chinook database, and specifically would focus on the invoice table, as it contains date and time information we can use for this analysis. Now, here is the Chinook database, right? And these are all the tables that are embedded in the Chinook database. If you've forgotten how to import or load this database into DBeaver, I would also put in the description a link to a video that you can watch to help you import or load this database into DBeaver. I would also include a link to the data file so you can download it and be ready for this analysis. Now, the other thing I want to show you is how the invoice database looks like. So I would right click on the invoice and go to view data. So we can see our invoice. The invoice ID is basically the primary key for this table. The customer ID is a foreign key because it is coming from the customer table. And we can see our invoice date, which we'll be working with, and then other variables or columns present in this table. The other thing I need from you is the learning attitude, right? So just can have that ready to learn. Okay, so I do have a couple of questions which I want us to go one after the other and try to come up with the queries to answer those questions. Our first question for this tutorial session is: how many invoices were issued each year? Now, if we go back to our data set or invoice table, you can see all the years. So we have from 2009 all the way to 2013, right? In total, we have 412 rows containing invoices from different customer transactions. So we need to see how many invoices were issued each year. So let's go ahead and do that. So right click on the Chinook database and open a new SQL script. So I'm just writing out the question. So we write our select statement. So we'd use the string format time, which is a built-in function or a built-in function in SQL. So basically what the string format time is, it allows us to format the date and time as strings. And if you don't know what a string is a sequence of characters used to represent text, numbers, symbols, or spaces. So one of the codes to extract the year from the invoice table is the percentage %y. This extracts the year from the invoice table. And remember, our focus is on the invoice date. That's the name of the column. So we'd call that here. And all we need is the year, right? So we're going to create a new column called year, or we're saving whatever we're extracting here as year. Okay. And then we're basically counting the number of invoice issued each year, and we're saving it as invoice count. So our table is invoices. And we want to group by the year and also order by year. All right, so I would run this and we basically get our result set. So for the 5 years we're working with, these are the number of invoices that were created or issued each year. So in 2009, we had 83 invoices. Same thing for 2010 all the way to 2012. And then in 2013, we had 80 invoices. So that's how to query the database to find out how many invoices were issued each year. So now we can proceed to the second question. Our second question is, what are the total sales for each month per year? Okay, so we're still going to make use of our string format time in order to extract the month and the year from the invoice table, specifically the invoice date column. So the percentage %m extracts the month. Percentage %y, which is this year, extracts the year, right? So now we're extracting the month and then year. Oops. And then our column is invoice date as month year, because we're looking for total sales. So now the round function helps us to round our answers to 2 decimal places, 3 decimal places, 4 decimal places, however we like. For me, I like 2 decimal places. So we're taking the sum of the total. We'll put our 2 decimal places and we'll save that as monthly, monthly sales. Okay, so remember, in our invoice table, we have the last column that is total. So that's what we're working with, because our question is asking us what are the total sales for each month per year, right? So this year extracts the month for each year. This year finds the total sales, so the sum, right? The sum of the column total. We round it to 2 decimal places and we save it as monthly sales. So our table, invoices, so we're just grouping it by month, year, and then we're ordering it by month, year. All right, so if I run this, oh, okay, so I missed the percentage here. So this should have been percentage. So I'd run that again. Okay, so basically each month and then the year. So you can see it from 09 to 2013. So this is just for January, right? You could see all of that monthly sales just for January for the 5 years. And then it goes to February for the 5 years, March for the 5 years, and so on, right? So here we can see all the total sales for each month per year. Now, our third question is, what is the average invoice total for each day of the week? What is the average invoice total for each day of the week? So let's just write it there. So each day of the week, we're basically looking at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? One other thing I want to state here is SQL codes Sunday as 0 and Saturday as 6, right? So that means if Sunday is 0, Monday is 1, Tuesday is 2, Wednesday is 3, Thursday is 4, Friday is 5, and Saturday is 6. Very important information for you to know. So what we would do here, I'll select statement. So now I'm going to bring in another new, allow me to use the word term, which is percentage W, right? What this does is that it extracts the weekday. So it extracts all the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right, from our invoice date column, right? That's what it does. Percentage M extracts the month. Percentage Y extracts the year. So we'll save that as weekday. And then we use the round again. So this time we're looking for the average. So 2 decimal and save that as average of total. So then from invoices, we're still going to group by the weekday and then order by weekday. Okay, so I'll run this. All right, so you can see it there. We can see the average total for each of the weekdays. So remember, Sunday is 0, Saturday is 6. So what this is telling us is that Wednesday has the highest invoice amount, right? In terms of the total amount on the invoice, right? On average, Wednesday with $5.91. And then the lowest here would be Friday and Monday with $5.51 on average for the total. Okay, so that's how we answer question 3. Question 4, how many invoices were issued in the last 30 days from the latest invoice date? Okay, so basically what this is doing is, or this question is asking us, looking back 30 days, right, from the latest invoice date, how many invoices were issued, right? So if I go to our data set, our table, invoices, invoice date, if we go, so the latest date we have here is December 22nd, 2013. So 30 days from this date will be November 22nd, 2013, right? 30 days back. So, and that, we have here in November, the latest date in November is 21st November 2013, right? So 30 days from December 12th. So what we're now going to do is to try to count how many invoices were issued within that 30-day period. So we use the count function and we save it as last 30 days invoices. So we're using the Julian day function that helps us to calculate the difference between dates. So our max date, which is going to be that November 22nd, we want to get the max date. So here we're looking at, remember we say 30 days, so we'd have that as less than or equal to 30. All right, so if I run this, good. So we have 7 days, right? And to show you that this is correct, remember our latest day is December 22nd, 2013, and 30 days from that is November 22nd, 2013. So if we count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So within the last 30 days, only 7 invoices have been issued, right? We cannot include 21st because it doesn't fall into that 30-day time period. Okay, so that's how to query the database to answer the 4th question. The 5th question, in the year 2013, how much sales came from Germany? So to answer this question, we first of all, have to look at the total sales for 2013 and try to extract the billing country, which is Germany. So if we go back to our invoice table, you can see that we have billing address, billing city, billing state, billing country, and billing postal code. And the question is asking us, in the year 2013, how much sales came from Germany? So we need to filter this invoice date based on only 2013, and then filter based on the country. So we get only Germany and find the total sales that came from Germany. So let's do that. I forgot how to spell Germany. Yikes. So I'm basically, first of all, my select statement has me calculating the total sales. I'm rounding it to 2 decimal places, and then I'm saving that as the sales for Germany in 2013. Now, the next thing I do is to call the table, which is, you obviously know, the invoice invoices, right? Yeah. And then we're going to use a where clause. So the table we're interested, or the column we're interested in, is the billing country to filter the data. So billing country would be Germany, and our string format time remember, so in this case we use the percentage year because we're looking for the year, and then invoice date would be equal to 2013. Okay, so let's see. Mistake. Yes, okay, so select round. Yep, so that's correct. So let's run this. So we can see it here, right? $9.09 is how much sales have come from Germany in the year 2013. Now, to show you that this is correct, let's go over to our invoices. Right. So what you could do is we could just focus on all of the 2013s, right? And just look for Germany, manually look for Germany here by looking at it. Right. So this is our first Germany, 3.96. And then our second Germany is this, which is 5.94. And if we look through, we don't have any more Germany, right? No more customers from Germany. So just 2 customers from Germany in 2013. So 3.96 plus 5.94 gives you $9.9, right? $9.09. All right, our last question. What date had the lowest total sales? All right. So the select statement. Go around. I'm going to order this from so lowest would be the, I'm going to do ascending, right? So basically the query, the column we're interested in, which is invoice date, we're taking the sum of the total and then rounding it 2 decimal places, saving that as total sales. We call the table we're interested in, and then we're going to group everything by the invoice date and then order it by the total sales in an ascending order. So if I run this, this is basically, so an ascending order we're looking at from 2009 all the way to 2013. Oh, sorry. The ascending order is based on the total sales, sorry, from the smallest all the way to the largest. So we can see that we have multiple dates with the lowest total sales, right? Of, let's just say $1, $0.99, right? So all of these dates, right, basically have the lowest sale of 99 cents. And then, January 1st, 2009, we now look almost close to $2, right, in sales. So that's basically how you answer the last question. Thank you for tuning in. Please, if you have any comments, any questions, or anything that interests you after you watch this video, please leave a comment in the comment box below, and also do not forget to subscribe and like this video. Thank you.